How's it going, guys? Today's video we're looking at what would happen if Marc Bergevin never made a trade for the Montreal Canadiens. So, if you guys didn't know, he was actually hired by the Canadiens way back on May 2nd, 2012. I didn't realize he's actually been the GM for over 6 years now. A lot of the trades he made when he first started out as GM are actually kind of irrelevant now. For instance, you have Michael Ryder for Eric Cole. Doesn't really matter. Both those guys are retired. He's also made some interesting moves that could have paid off but didn't. For instance, he actually traded future considerations for Devin Dubnyk. So, gave up nothing for one of the best goalies in the league. Unfortunately, he ended up letting him go to free agency after the end of the season. So, kind of good trade, but didn't work out. Obviously, because he made that trade, Devin Dubnyk is not on this team. Other than that, though, it's kind of the trades most of you guys know about. Obviously, Subban for Weber, Sergachev for Drouin, and most recently, Galchenyuk for Domi. I feel like all three of those are very controversial and most likely lost on all three. I think for sure the Subban deal, probably the Sergachev deal, and we'll have to see with Domi and Galchenyuk, but I think he's probably lost on that one as well. So like his three biggest trades were all losers. Also, he made a bunch of small trades, a lot of them involving like third, fourth line players, bottom pair defensemen. Really, neither were winners or losers. They were kind of just trading a bad player for another bad player, so they don't know what you're going to count that. Before I show you guys the new team without Bergevin ever making a trade, I also want to show you what the team currently would look like going into this season. So obviously looking at there, Drouin's playing center. He's more of a winger, so the team lacks really a number 1 and number 2 center. Also just forward depth, a lot of 70s there. Not a lot of depth. Like, I guess it does have a decent bottom 6, but the top 6, a lot of those guys should be playing in the bottom 6. So again, not a lot of forward depth. Defensively, you have Shea Weber, who's old and aging. I think he's overrated in this game right now. And other than him, you have Petrie, and that's about it. One thing that kind of surprised me is that Weber's still rated higher than PK Subban in this game, but I feel like that'll definitely change for NHL 19. As Weber's been injured for most of this season, Subban was just nominated for a Norris Trophy, and he's the cover athlete for NHL 19. I feel like he's got to be rated higher than Weber, but obviously we will see. In goal, you have Carey Price as a starter, the best goalie in the world in my opinion, as long as he's healthy, of course, and playing like himself. And then back up there is Niemi. So now, guys, I'm going to show you what this team would look like if Bergevin never made a trade. As you can see here, team status is hopeful, so actually the exact same as the real life team. Even though the team looks different, apparently both hopeful teams, so playoff fringe. So as you can see here, I feel like the team's definitely better, but honestly not by much. First line's Pacioretty, Galchenyuk, and Gallagher. Galchenyuk is 1 overall below Drouin, but he is a natural center. Then on the second line here, you have Lehkonen, DeBrincat, and Byron. I'm sure a bunch of you are wondering, how does Montreal get DeBrincat? Well, they actually traded 2 second-round picks to Chicago for Andrew Shaw. One of the second-round picks was used to take DeBrincat. That was actually Buffalo's second-round pick that Montreal got back in return for Josh Georges. So, obviously that trade's not looking too good, as Shaw has one of the worst contracts in the league probably. I'm sure some of you are thinking if Bergevin never made a trade, then Montreal would never have gotten that second round pick from Buffalo, never been able to get DeBrincat. So in this case, along with a few others where Bergevin basically made a trade for a piece where there was a player or prospect and then flipped that player or prospect later in another trade, I only get away with the second trade just to keep it a bit more recent, as a lot of the trades happened like years ago where it didn't really matter. Also in this case, they traded one of their own second round picks, so they still could have had DeBrincat, I guess, in this case, and they don't have Georges on the team. Another time this happened was with Cassian, who obviously you can see I have on the third line here. They traded Prus to Vancouver to get him, and then flipped him to Edmonton for Scriven, so again, just canceled out the second trade with that player, the more recent one. Also on the third line here, you have Lars Eller, who they trade away for a couple second-round picks. So I feel like they messed up big time, essentially replacing Shaw with Eller, as Eller just won a Stanley Cup, Shaw's got a terrible contract, and one of the second-round picks they gave up for Shaw drafted DeBrincat. Like, there was a really bad kind of series of events there. Hemsky's actually on this team. He just hasn't been healthy. Fourth line here, Dale Weiss. Obviously, they traded him away not too long ago. Fourth line here, Volcanics, traded to Toronto at the deadline. Now, he is the pack on the team anyways, though. And then Hudon there is the fourth line left winger. So, again, the forward depth still could be a bit better. A lot of 70s there. The center depth, though, is definitely better. Although none of these guys have great face-offs. Galchenyuk's a 70, DeBrincat's a 73. But they are centers, so we'll leave them there in their natural positions. Defense here is definitely improved. Sergachev and Subban as the top pair is a lot better than Mete and Weber. Like, that is a sick top pair. Subban's already elite. Sergachev, I mean, 84 overall at 19 with elite potential. He's going to be a stud. Second pair there is also solid. You got Beaulieu and Alzner. I still don't get trading away Beaulieu for a third. I feel like he was worth more than that. They should have held on to him, trying to give him more time to grow, although he hasn't looked too great in Buffalo. I guess we'll kind of see what happens with him. And then third pair there is a very solid young pair in my opinion. You have Mete and Juleson, so they actually could have this as a third pair right now, but due to their need on defense, they have Mete playing top pair. So Again, not much better, but defense has definitely improved. And then goalies, obviously Price is still the starter, and now they have Montoya as the backup, opposed to Niemi. Honestly, though, I don't mind that trade that he made, Montoya for like a third or a fourth or whatever with Edmonton, as they weren't going to do that good last year anyways. But I feel like they definitely need an upgrade on Niemi to be the backup. I know he did have a few good games there, but Niemi is not a good goalie. I think that's been proven, I think. So they got to find a better backup than that. Also scratches a few players here. You got Budai, they traded away, Desharnais, Andredo. Same goes with the AHL. I'll show you guys that really quick. You got Torrey Mitchell here, Peter Holland. Defense is pretty much all trade away players. Zach Redmond, Greg Return, Joe Morrow, Jurabak, Tenorti. I was actually holding off on this video, hoping he would trade Pacioretty soon, and we could have that trade implemented here, but I was just tired of waiting for that trade to happen. Figured we'll just go ahead with Pacioretty still on the team, so we'll simulate the season now, guys, see how they do. Usually Montreal does okay in a season sim, like with their regular team. It kind of depends, I guess, how Price does, but they're usually like a playoff bubble team, and then obviously anything can happen in the playoffs, so I think they actually won the Stanley Cup against our no-trade Chiarelli Oilers team. I'll start the sim here, and we'll find out what happened. Alright guys, so as you can see here, we're now at the trade deadline. Have a record of 29, 28, and 4, so just over 500. AHL team, though, is pretty sick, so we'll see where we are in the standings. Maybe we still have a shot here if we make a late push to actually get into the playoffs. Let's see, so 62 points, so 6th place in the division. Only 6 points out of a spot. Red Wings actually have the one wildcard spot right now in this division. In the Metro, Flyers are also at 68. So we can just gain a few wins. Detroit has a game on us, or sorry, we have a game on Detroit and the Flyers. So definitely still have a chance. Got Galchenyuk there, leading scorer, 58 points in 61 games. It's not too bad at all. I'm just going to take a quick look here at the top scorers on this team. Pacioretty 1 point behind with 57. Gallagher there, 49. Also, Galchenyuk and Gallagher have both gone up by 1 overall. So maybe if they can, have a late rally here, they can make something happen. I think in like January they had 5 straight losses, this team, so that definitely hurt the record. Hopefully they can go the other way, 5 straight wins, and make a playoff push. Also want to quickly go to the deadline and just take a quick look at some player values and see who's worth more right now in regards to some of Bergevin's biggest trades, and then we'll keep simming the rest of the season. So the first trade I want to look at, guys, is Subban for Weber. Also take a look at how Preds are doing with Weber back in the team. As you can see there, 31, 25, and 5, so not too bad at all. Subban here, trade value's not too bad. Like, it's not the max, but it's pretty close. 28 years old, 88 overall. Shea Weber, let's see his value. It's about the same, 32 years old, 89 overall. He's making $7.8 million though for the next 9 years. It's insane. I saw someone say on Twitter how, like, when Tavares' contract is up with the Maple Leafs, Weber will still be under contract for the Canadiens, which is just insane. You can see like his roles, other stats. Obviously, you got a huge slap shot on him, but that contract, $7.8 million for the next 9 years, it's just insane. Subban's here. What was it? $9 million for the next 5 years. So he's younger, much shorter term, but you can see they have the value at about equal. I mean, honestly, if Weber is healthy, it's not that bad of a trade, unfortunately, for the Montreal Canadiens. He's just been injured recently. And I mean, when he was healthy when they first got him, he wasn't playing too bad. So if he can get healthy again, return to form, I feel like the trade won't be as bad as it currently looks. Obviously, when one guy is nominated for the Norris and the other guy's out with an injury, it looks a lot worse. And next year, guys, I want to take a look at the Sergachev for Durant trade. So Sergachev obviously is a pretty sick player. 19 years old, 84 overall, medium elite, on an entry-level deal for the next 3 years. I mean, that is huge. Durant here also, I think, has the potential. He does. He's 22 years old, 85 overall, so he's actually grown already for Tampa. I mean, Tampa's offense is so stacked they don't make that trade, though. And I mean, their defense isn't too bad either. $5 million there, so I guess they could afford him. Like, that's just ridiculous to think about. Sergachev, though, does have more value in this game, probably because he is on the entry-level deal, whereas Durant's making $5 million. But imagine him on Tampa Bay right now with that forward group, like, just unfair. I feel like it's just insane. Like, they don't really need Sergachev either. Like, their defense is that stacked. And then 35 points right now as a forward. Sergachev, 20 points as a D-man, not too bad. Again, I feel like this trade, if Durant can go back to the wing and they find a real center for him, it looks really bad right now. But just like the Weber-Subban deal, I feel like this one could end up a little closer to even as long as like the right things happen for Montreal. And next year, I want to take a look at the Galchenyuk for Domi trade. So Galchenyuk's our leading scorer, already grew in overall by 1. 24 years old, 84 overall, making $4.9 million for the next 3 years. His role there is a first-line forward. Currently has 58 points at the deadline. Like, that's pretty sick. I doubt Domi is doing this good, but you never know. So he's 82 overall, which means he's actually grown 1 as well, just like Galchenyuk. Role there, second-line forward. He's got 30 points, which isn't too bad, but no 58. And then contract, he's on last year of his entry-level deal. In real life, they extended him at $3 million, so about $2 million cheaper than Galchenyuk. As you can see there, they want Galchenyuk, his value's more. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Obviously, still have about 2.5 months left. We'll see what this team can do with that time. I think maybe a late playoff push. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so I just finished simming the rest of the season. Pretty good record there. Is it going to be good enough? I'm not sure. 41, 34, and 7. That's 91 points, like right around a wild card spot. It's going to be close. AHL team there, though, is sick. Just under 50 wins. We actually had a really good month of March there, like a lot of wins, which might be the reason we make it. But 3 of the 4 last games were losses, which doesn't help at all. So we'll see here if we're a playoff team or just missed. Hopefully. And there we go. Wow. I can't add. We had 91 points, not, sorry, I said it again. We have 89 points, not 91, but we still made the playoffs there. One of the wildcard spots in the Atlantic. I actually beat the Hurricanes there by 1 point, only 1 behind Washington and New Jersey, as well as Ottawa. So a lot of teams there doing like just mediocre, I guess. Galchenyuk here is insane this year. 81 points, 82 games, like just under a point per game with Pacioretty and Gallagher. So didn't even have like really any extra help and just went off this year. Pacioretty as well at 80 points. So I mean, Gallagher there 70. This team was just, the first line there was just carrying this team. And I mean, those are guys that were already on the team. Only traded away 1 so far in Galchenyuk. Probably going to trade away 2 though in Pacioretty. Domi I don't think is enough value for Galchenyuk. They better get enough value for Pacioretty. DeBrincat here, 50 points, solid. Subban just under 50. Eller 43 as the third line center is pretty impressive. Hemsky 42, Byron 41. Luckily needs to do better than 30 points, but he does have 1 growth there at 79. Mechanic's not too bad for fourth line center. Sergachev didn't grow, but decent amount of points as well. Take a look here at Price. Is he the reason that we're making the playoffs? 62 games. Would have wished he played a little bit more, but I have like the auto-rotate goalies on. 4 shutouts, .914 save percentage, 2.64 goals against. Not too bad. Montoya's stats there for a backup are decent as well. I'll take a look at the entire NHL. I feel like our first line had to be close to the leading scorers. Usually, like, not too many guys are putting up a point per game in a sim. Sagan there first, then Kane, Kessel. Where's Galchenyuk? So Galchenyuk is like 10th there, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's 10th exactly. Pacioretty 11. So not too bad at all. And then you got Gallagher having like the best season of his career. He had like 70 points. Where's Gallagher? There he is. So really can't be too upset with that. Also curious to see where this team finished in the entire NHL. So we'll just check that quickly here. Boston, President's Trophy winner, 111 points. Then Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay. Top 3 teams are all in the East. Nashville there gets screwed. 12th in the NHL, missing the playoffs. Same with Chicago, St. Louis, not New Jersey, but yeah, those 3 teams in the Central. I guess the Central is just that good. I kind of feel bad for them. We're 18th and still made the playoffs. Carolina 19th, so yeah, definitely shouldn't be there, but we are. So we'll see what happens. The Islanders there, last place. Tavares definitely, I think, leads in this simulation as well. And the first round of the playoffs, guys, we're going up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think they finished 2nd in the entire NHL. Obviously, we know how good their forward group is. Like, they are stacked. They're much better than us, that's for sure. Defense even, like, Letang's equal with Subban, at least in this game. Sergachev is a little bit better than Schultz. Second pair, third pair about equal with us. Goalie, we definitely have them. Price is better than Murray, but that's about it. Defense, I'd say, is equal, and their forwards are so much better. So Price is going to have to absolutely carry this team if we want to somehow get by the Penguins. I don't see it happening. Also, guys, before we start the sim, I wanted to show you that with our player growth, our team stats is actually now contenders, so that's pretty cool to see. Looking at Subban there, I just realized should be a good rivalry series. Crosby and Subban going head-to-head again. Obviously, last time the Stanley Cup Final or Pittsburgh-Nashville. We'll see what happens here. Like I said, I'm not, holding my breath. We do win the first game and the second game. Okay. Then we lose both at Montreal. Win again in Pittsburgh. Lose again in Montreal. What a weird series. Goes to 7. Win all 3 games, or the first 3 games in Pittsburgh. Lose every game, though, in Montreal. And then lose the 7th game only by 1. That's crazy. I can't believe we lost every home game. Like, the Montreal fans must just like Crosby more than us. They're cheering for him. I don't know. That's crazy. I'm going to check the awards now, see who won the cup, all that stuff. Let's take a look here. As you can see, the New Jersey Devils are Stanley Cup champions. I am so happy for Taylor Hall right now. I feel like, he deserves that. Kind of funny, too, how, like, Hall's winning the cup after we, like, reversed the Subban trade, which happened on the same day. Like, that was such a crazy day. Gallagher there, our leading scorer in the playoffs, 8 points, 7 games. It's pretty solid. I guess we'll take a quick look at our playoff stats. We only did last 1 series. along with the tree. Galchenyuk also had 8 points. All 8 were assists in 85 now. Gallagher's in 84, so they've actually both grown by 2 this season. Pacioretty also grew by 1. Hemsky there did 6 points, not too bad. Eller, so I guess third line. Sergachev grew by 1. We'll take a look. Price probably didn't grow because he's supposed to be good, yeah. So, I mean, first round exit for this team, considering the lack in forward depth, isn't too bad. Playoff tree, I'm really curious to see the Devils here. They beat the Capitals, then they beat Pittsburgh in 7, Tampa in 5. Tampa's always just a beast. I mean, Tampa didn't lose a game until they lost the Devils in the conference final. They swept Ottawa and Carolina. Dallas there, they actually played in the Stanley Cup final. That's kind of interesting. They beat Minnesota, Winnipeg, and then Anaheim. Alright, so take a look at the awards now. Maybe Price got something. President's Trophy, already know that. Dallas and New Jersey. The player awards here. Sagan with Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris went to Yossi, so back with Weber, and he wins a Norris. I mean, that's kind of cool. Lady Bing as well went to Sagan. Hischier with the Calder, so he had a great year. Conn Smythe, Schneider, Quick with the Vezina. And the William M. Jennings Trophy, just like real life. Bill Masterson there to Gudas. Getzlav got the Selke. Sagan with the Ted Lindsay. And then Ovi there, Maurice Richard. Forgot to actually check the AHL. I don't think our team won. I'll be shocked if they did, though. Calder Cup, no, Toronto Marlies. So Marlies win the Calder Cup just like real life as well. So, I mean, that is pretty cool to see. Maybe our AHL team got a player award, best defenseman or something. Lots of Comet awards there. McElhenney with a couple. Gaudette, Patan, Hutchinson's. Yeah, we didn't get any AHL awards either, but AHL team really wasn't that great. Terry there did have 71 points apparently, though. So, as you guys can see there, I guess if Bergeron never makes a trade, Canadiens finish one and done. Is that better than, like, starting this rebuild-ish path that they're on? I don't know. You guys be the judge. You got to look at both teams. Honestly, very curious to hear what Montreal fans have to say. Like, do you like the look of this team if, you know, they never made a trade, or do you prefer kind of how the team's looking right now? I know non-Montreal fans would probably say this team is better, keeping Subban, keeping Galchenyuk, keeping Sergachev, but I'm more interested from a fan perspective. Do you kind of like the path that you're going down? Obviously, it's kind of a very tough situation. It looks like both teams are really not great or terrible, and I think the reason for that is Carey Price is in net, which makes it a lot tougher. But I feel like even with Carey Price in net, they're still never going to win anything without that #1 elite center, which obviously they may have just drafted in Kotkaniemi, and that's, I think, where the controversy is. Is it better to start this retool/rebuild road they're on with Price still in net and an aging Weber, or should they have just never made any of these trades and kind of just rocked Galchenyuk as that #1 center and hope it turned out for the best? Like I was saying, would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments section. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'll leave that thumbs up. Also, guys, if you're not subscribed yet, please do that. On the road to 100K and need your help. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.